All right, welcome.
Welcome back.
Today is an interesting edition just because we are traveling.
Yeah,
Because
we're in Uruguay.
we've walked the walk, and so we want to show you that we can teach you how to travel while we travel. That's why we're in our car right now. So this is gonna be the background for today. We had the AC on, but we had to turn it off for the sake of sound.
So bear with us.
Bear with us as it gets a little hot in here.
It's summer here.
Yes. That being said, we will not have tea or coffee or mate today, but if you have a drink, please go ahead and grab it and we can start. We're going to drink water today. Yes. So today we're going to talk about a very interesting topic, which is not about finding hotels in your stay, but how to find unique hotels.
Exactly. So we have stayed at some really cool places in the past 8 years. One of my favorites was hanging from a glass capsule from the side of a mountain in Peru. We've stayed at an eco lodge with a water slide going right into the water. We've stayed in, oh my God, I can't even.
No, we've stayed in mountains,
Like,
we've
really
stayed nearby beaches, like so many unique places. But realistically,
really boutique hotels with
yeah,
pools in the room and stuff like that.
yeah, I gotta say it takes some effort to find unique stays because the algorithm is not meant to make it easy for you to find unique places, but it's meant to be convenient. So you can find you can find accommodations right away, but not the most unique ones.
Exactly. So right when you go into any kind of search engine, right, like booking.com, hotels.com, Expedia, the ones we all use, right? We're not saying don't use them, but of course, when you go into them and you're putting in a place to stay, like the top ones are going to be the big hotels, Marriott, Hilton, Hyatt,
Yeah,
like
hi.
all of those. And the reason being is because one, they're sponsored, so they're getting pushed to the top, and two, they're also places that people go all the time because they're in their comfort zone, and so obviously those places naturally will end up high in the algorithm when they're sponsored and even when they're not. So that's why finding a unique stay can be even harder in today's day and age.
Yeah, I agree. So now, heading into the topic, the number one thing we want to mention, and I know it sounds repetitive because we've said it pretty much in every other thing. The best thing you can have when traveling, this is the deal, is to have flexibility. And we have a little story about this, which was the time we stayed in the glass capsule.
That was actually our first big trip.
Yeah.
This was 8 years ago?
Yeah.
7 years ago.
It was in 2019.
Yeah. Okay.
And we were going to do a trip through Argentina, Bolivia, Peru, and Ecuador. And there was this really cool place we wanted to see.
And I was like, Fatty, we need to go here. It's this capsule hanging off of a mountain. It's insane. I mean, I saw it in one reel and I was just like hooked. And I was like, you need to take me here, please. And so we started looking. And for the days that we were going to go, it was completely sold out. So we looked at the calendar and we were like, oh my God, they're only available for this 1 week. So we basically shuffled our entire trip around. Like, it was starting in Chile and then like was supposed to go up and around and down. And then we realized, okay, well, actually, if we move things around, we can make this hotel happen. So that's why it's really important that you know about these unique places before you go ahead and book your rental car and you create your itinerary. These are going to be the pillars of when you start your travel planning.
So now, how do we find unique stays? There are multiple ways to find unique stays, but we're going to tackle them one by one. The number one way, go on travel blogs.
Exactly.
Unfortunately,
and we're not just saying that because we're travel bloggers.
Yes.
We're telling you because it is so incredibly important to follow advice of people who are actively seeking out those places.
Yeah, unfortunately, the search engines and the booking platforms are great for booking in general, but it's going to be hard to find these unique hotels. I'm not saying you should book through a travel blog. I'm saying you should look for them through travel blogs.
Honestly, like when you look up top 10 places to stay in Cappadocia, you know what pops up? The same websites over and over on that first page. So many people don't make it past the first page of Google, but they don't realize for certain articles that you're looking for, a certain kind of information, you actually should be skipping to page 2, 3, 4. I think our hotel roundup for Cappadocia, which is one of my most proud articles because we have actually stayed in all of the places.
Literally every single
Like,
one of them.
we didn't just randomly choose hotels. We wrote a list of every hotel that we stayed in, which ones are worth it, which ones aren't, what makes them special. And if you actually go and you look up top hotels to stay in Cappadocia, you're going to get the most generic list in the world. And those aren't even the best hotels. And we know because we've literally been to almost all of them.
When we say almost all of them, we literally mean that.
Like, we were going one to 2 nights in each place, and we stayed for like several weeks a few times because we're planning our wedding there. But
seriously. So yeah, just make sure you go to travel blogs, maybe just for inspiration. And once you find the place you like and you get like good advice that it's a good place to go, just go and book it on that platform. That's totally fine. But we're talking about finding unique places,
although
not
we do
booking
think that
unique.
you should use people's affiliate links. It really helps creators and it gets them going, and really
Yeah.
helps them create more valuable information. So
And in case you're not familiar with affiliate marketing, if you go to a travel blog and you see someone putting a link to a hotel, they're not charging you more for the hotel. You're paying
Yeah.
the same price, but the person who recommended that the
getting
hotel
paid
is
by the
getting
platform.
exactly
Not
it's
even by
getting,
the hotel, by the platform.
it's getting a little commission. So you're actually helping them at no extra cost for you. So that's important to know.
All right. So travel blogs, obviously, very, very important. Second
Number
one,
2, Instagram,
TikTok, social media in general, right? And I know this sounds pretty basic, but we're going to tell you how we do it because the thing is, just going on and randomly looking, like sometimes you're not gonna exactly find things. We're proactive about it, and we actually, every time we see a very cool hotel, we'll save it in a folder of that destination. And I have things that I like when we were traveling, I had things saved from 5 years ago. And then I was like, oh my God, I forgot about this hotel that existed that is super cool. And we ended up going there and it was amazing. So really do your research on TikTok and Instagram are our 2 favorites when it comes to like finding really cool hotels.
Yeah.
Because
And
people make the best reels.
yeah, and the best is you
videos.
don't even have to do that much work because the algorithm on social media is even stronger. So just look, unique stays in X location. Look for 2 to 3 reels like them, and the algorithm will pick up and start showing you those videos like back to back. So it's gonna be super simple.
Yeah.
So number 1, travel vlogs. Number 2, Instagram.
It's social media.
Yeah.
The third one is also technically social media, but it's really used as a search engine as well. So Pinterest is another amazing tool that you can use. I mean, there are a million articles out there. If you just look up unique stays in Bali, for example, you're going to get a bunch of pins from bloggers, from reels, from everything like that. So basically, people are promoting their things there, but it's going to make it much more organized for you so that you can actually go and find these articles.
Yeah.
And then you can save them in your board and you can check them out later. So it's another way to stay organized and be able to get a lot of inspiration at the same time.
That's
All right.
really good.
Our next one.
Number 4 is
one that not a lot of people talk about,
Yeah.
and I'm obsessed with it.
yeah, we probably found it close to a year ago, maybe less.
Yeah, I think we heard it from Mike and Laura Travel.
Yeah. And it's called Flipboard.
It's really awesome. Basically, you go on there and you make different magazines, and then people post their links, and everything is updated very regularly. So all of the articles that pop up on there are super recent. And when you go on there, there are so many articles, and a lot of people do hotel reviews on there. And so you can find the articles there, pin it in your magazine, and then you can check it out later. I've seen a lot of amazing hotels that way.
Yeah, Flipboard is definitely a good one.
And then our final one is
This is a little different than usual, but it could also be a lot of fun because it's a lot more interactive, and it's one that you probably already use a lot, but for different things. And it's Google Maps.
And it's actually really funny because we do this to find restaurants too. But you go on the place that you want to go and you start basically just zooming in and you'll start to see icons and you can click on them and you can see the reviews and basically see all of the information. And a lot of them are like those really cute guest house. They're usually much more budget friendly because they're not on the big platforms. And this is obviously one of those like hit or miss things, but we think it's a lot of fun and we've found some awesome places in this way.
Yeah,
So
it's a lot of fun. Sometimes just like zooming in and just like look around and build what you can find. You never know what you can find. So
exactly.
5 different ways of finding unique hotels. Now the question is, a lot of things can go wrong, and this is just like anything else. It's a skill you have to learn. So we're gonna go through like a few things that you have to keep in mind.
For unique stays, all right. So some things to keep in mind are that when you're going to a Marriott, a Hilton, they have 24/7 people on call, right? The reality is, for these really unique stays, they don't have that. And that's okay, but you just need to know that in advance. So, for example, when we went to Sky Lodge, this isn't a place that you check in and check out whenever you want. It's
No,
actually a place where people all go in a group together. You have to climb up to the pods as a group, and it's a whole experience where
yeah,
you eat together,
it's
like
more activity than a hotel. Actually, it's a 24-hour
yeah.
activity that involves you sleeping in a pod.
Exactly. And then you zip line down all together. So it's very important for you to know that you need to have your itinerary ready to be picked up at a certain time, to be dropped off at a certain time. And this goes with like a lot of those properties, you're going to have to keep stuff like that in mind.
Yeah,
And then also to be flexible with your dates. Uh, Basically, you want to make sure that you're reading a lot of reviews on these types of places, whether it's a tree house or whether, you're sleeping in a wine barrel or you're sleeping in a capsule. You want to do your due diligence, either read articles that people have written about them, read the reviews, or go to their website and see if there's anything that you need to keep in mind while you're planning the rest of your itinerary.
yeah. And just remember, whenever you look up on a search engine like Google or on Pinterest or in any booking platform, when you look up top hotels or you sort by popularity or you sort by price, you're probably gonna get hit with this chain hotels first. And I'm not saying there's something wrong with them. We personally don't like them, but we know people that like having the points and having always the same the hotel room looking the same anywhere in the world they go. But just know these platforms are gonna push those hotels first. Sometimes because of partnerships, sometimes because of more people going there than others. Remember, these are unique stays. Like by
Yeah,
definition, they're not the most popular, but they're the most unique, the most original.
exactly.
So you
They're like
will
those
have
hidden gems of accommodation. And another thing that you can do is when you're on the booking platforms, because we're not saying don't use booking platforms, we just want you to be able to use them in a better way. Um, Use the filters because, for example, you can put stays with jacuzzis. You can put stays with pools. You can put stays with spas, and then it'll narrow it down. And then you can really start to find some cool amenities that each of the places has.
yeah.
So yeah, that's how you find your unique stays.
Yeah, and in case we haven't stressed it enough, flexibility is the number
Yes,
one skill you can have.
flexibility.
And even after doing all the research, if you think you find the coolest place, do look for reviews. Maybe look for reviews in two different. Sometimes you'll find that the place on Google Maps has great reviews, but then you go on other portals like we don't personally like TripAdvisor, but like TripAdvisor could be another one. And in TripAdvisor, you'll find different reviews. Why? Because some hotels do ask you to leave a review in advance just so that they can get better. And so a lot of times you'll find reviews that are either outdated or they're not honest. So just do your due diligence. This is work. The payout is incredible. You'll have the most unique experience in your life that you'll remember forever, lifelong memories. But it does take a little work, so you need to keep that in mind.
And if this has really overwhelmed you and you're like, I don't want to do all that work, well, hey, we can do it for you.
Yeah.
We also love doing that for people.
We do travel planning for people, whether you want to go want to take a weekend with your family or you want to go on a 3-week vacation to Europe, whatever you want to do. We don't do packages, we just do personalized travel planning. So we accommodate to your needs, the amount of people, the type of accommodation you want, anything you want to do, we do it, but we do it one on one. We don't do kind of like regular agencies. So
Yeah.
if this is something that interests you, we're not trying to push our services. We just want you to be aware of it. And
If you need to look back at any of this, we are going to have a replay. If you like things in writing, then you can go check out our article on scratchemuppa.com. And there
yeah,
you go.
whether you're watching this live or you're watching the replay, in the description of this video, you're going to find the blog article that goes deeper into the topic of today. We also have a podcast called Travel Buddies where you can hear a conversation of two people talking about the topic. We have posted by today over 400 episodes in the podcast, and we're expecting to reach a much higher number very, very soon. We're working very hard to get as much information out there for free so you can become a better traveler.
Exactly. And next week, we're going to be talking about how to start booking your trips with Google Maps.
Very interesting topic.
Yes, one of my favorites.
Yeah, over the years, I'm gonna give a lot of credit to Danny for this. We have developed, but especially Danny, a system to use Google Maps to your advantage. We still believe that Google Maps is an up and coming thing. We believe that Google Maps has been cooking for years on something big. Because
Not just for directions.
not
We're
just for
talking about
direction, we're talking
other
about
stuff.
yeah.
But we'll get into that next week. So we're not going to spoil anything right now. We want you to join us next week. And there we go.
Yeah, so this was Travel FOMO Fighters. We're here every week, Tuesday at noon Eastern Time, and we'll give you a different travel tip or travel idea so you can become a better traveler and avoid FOMO while traveling. We'll see you next week. We're Danny and Fede. Thanks, man.
Danny and Betty.
Yeah, and we're very hot today in the car. So we'll see you next week. Back to our regular backdrop. All right. Have a good day.